So Netflix, we talked about this a lot, but Netflix is theater of adverse. They will not release movies in movie theaters. They should, but they won't. And I've spoken to publicists, I've spoken to directors who direct for Netflix, and they are all just as frustrated. Netflix lost Margot Robbie's Wuthering Heights to Warner Brothers despite a $150 million offer. Has the streamer lost its deal-making mojo? It turns out money can't buy everything. Take the case of the red-hot Wuthering Heights package. The Emerald Fennell directed, which stars Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, sparked a bidding war with Netflix. Netflix's $150 million offer, dwarfing Warner Brothers' $80 million bid. For the past decade, agents have advised their clients to take the loot. But in the sign of the turning tide, the Wuthering Heights filmmakers, led by producer Robbie, opted for Warner Brothers film chief Michael DeLuca and Pamela Addy's pitch for a wide theatrical release and a full marketing campaign. One top agent says Netflix was shocked by the outcome because obviously they had outbid every other studio for so long and had been used to winning these contracts. Even more surprising, Netflix may not have even finished the heat in second. Amazon is believed to have done so, having promised Fennell a major theatrical push. For its part, Warner's was eager to move forward immediately. Production begins in the first quarter of 2025, sources say, even if this poses logistical headaches for Elordi, who is scheduled to begin shooting Euphoria. Netflix has the biggest number of subscribers and scale, so they can afford to play the game that they're playing. But there's a growing contingent of directors and movie stars who are saying no thanks. Now some filmmakers who signed deals with Netflix appear to be having second thoughts about the company's no to cursory theatrical stance and are looking for any wiggle room. In 2020, Greta Gerwig inked a lucrative pact to write and direct 2 films for the streamer based on C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia book series. But that was before the success of Gerwig's Barbie, $1.4 billion box office haul. With Barbie starring Robbie now having bypassed Netflix on Wuthering Heights, Gerwig has renewed leverage and is in discussion to see Narnia receive an IMAX run when it is released in 2026. A source familiar with the dealmaker says talks are preliminary for Narnia to screen at most of the roughly 1,800 IMAX theaters globally, but the footprint has not been discussed in detail. Others say the film will only unspool across a fraction of the IMAX theaters.
Yeah, the thing is this, you have to admit that Netflix has made some very good films. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was fortunate to see All Quiet on the Western Front in a theater on the big screen, the wall of sound. I don't care how big your home theater is, except for at the Ross House. It's very big. But I don't care how big it is. It's not going to get the impact of seeing a movie in a theater. And I mean, when you look at like The Irishman and other things that Scorsese's done films with Netflix, they have got the talent, but they see no upside to theatrical. Mm-hmm. And I think it's killing theatrical, it means the movies seem less valuable. And while I've had a Netflix subscription since when they sent you discs. I wish I had those little envelopes. I wish I kept a few, as a memento. I did not. But I really think they would get more value. It would seem like, wow, this movie that was in theaters 6 months later, it's on Netflix, whatever. I think they're missing it. And they own the theater. They own the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood and did a restoration that is a beautiful theater. You and I, Alan, have been there for events.
Yeah.
And screenings.
They did it. That's the only theater they'll show up in. I believe there's another theater, and they did it solely for the Oscar run.
Right. That's it. So, I mean, I wish they would lean into it a little more. It's disappointing to see, to see this, but I don't know. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that directors and actors and producers are pushing up against Netflix. The fact that that Margot Robbie would take half the money in order to get a theatrical run says a lot about how important theaters are. I mean, as much as the industry is dying, again, do more with the bad movies than it has to do with the economy, I believe. And look, good for her. I guess we're seeing Wuthering Heights in theaters, and I'll be looking forward to it. But but to the point here, it is a tough choice to make. I believe, we saw Blitz, which I believe is Apple TV,
right?
But Apple's doing the exact same thing. They're not releasing stuff in theaters, and they're giving, they're backing up the Brinks truck to directors to do it. And you and I saw Blitz at a screening in the theater.
Yeah,
that's a movie you have to see in the theater. Your TV, your iPad is just not going to be good enough to give you the experience that Steve McQueen had put into making that movie.